I'm going to make a little drawing after a painting by Rembrandt. This is some Titus as a monk, and I'm going to make a little sketch of the face. And I think I'll start with this area here. I made this quick sketch of the eye, and now this shadow here, a little more definition of the eye. This here, and it's just a quick sketch, so I want it to be very lively. The nose and this eye. There's more or less the distance of an eye between those, a little more in this case, I think. But here, positioning this eye here. It's late in the evening, so if I'm a bit slow with my talking, that's the reason. The mouth. The line of his face here. And I'm checking if this is more or less at the right spot. Defining the nose a little more. And this shadow. And by making this darker here, I define the face some more. The chin here. I wonder now if the nose is a little too low, to be honest. I'm not sure. Might be at the right spot. I think it's right, but I wasn't sure. Anyway. Going to work now on the tonal values. Oh, I will put it more visible on the screen. Here's a typical area. I don't try to put very neat, nice looking hatchings. I mean, the individual hatchings or scratchings are quite crude, but together they make an image. And I try to get the overall image correct in tonal values, more or less, and getting the forms right. But it doesn't have to be very smooth. I really like sort of expressiveness of these lines, actually. there's still some work that needs to be done. I think this eye is too high. So if I look at this and I look at this, I just draw it a little bit lower. And it has a nice echo. That's the way you must see those things. Sometimes a corrected line, you know, if you draw a line and you have to correct it, the first line can be a nice echo of the correct line, which you think is correct. This area is slightly darker than this area, just like this is slightly darker than this, so this as well. So I'm just filling this in a little bit. And I have the feeling that the face is a little bit too long or something. I'm looking at it and something is not right. You get that feeling sometimes when you're making a drawing. You're looking at it and something is not totally the way it should be. But you just go on. I think it's correcting itself now. Oops. I've broken a pencil, but I have another one here. I have about 10 or 12 pencils ready, sharpened. So for the duration of this drawing I have enough. Oops. The monks is closing this, and I like to break that direction a little bit with opposing direction in the hatchings or the scratchings or whatever you can call it, and I just go on. And a Rembrandt pupil wrote a book about painting, and he said that Titus painted with a full pencil, a full brush. You know, don't smudge things or anything. Don't make things too smooth. Just work through on what you are painting, and the subtleties will appear in that by doing that with a full brush. And this is in my interpretation, a sort of equivalent in drawing. Just I add hatchings on top of other hatchings or scratchings or whatever you call it. And eventually the tonal values, the expression, it gets more subtle the longer I work on this. This area gets a little too dark, I must say. But it's doesn't really bother me, so I might just leave it like that. And I want this to be a quick sketch, so I'm not going to work on this for very much longer. And I try to get his expression right. I'm looking at the corners of his mouth now. And the nose here is slightly lighter than this even, so I try to get that right as well here. So the tonal values are important to get it, an almost painterly effect, I hope. I think I add darkness here to get that face right, to get this clair obscure, this extreme light and dark contrast in my drawing a little bit. Rembrandt was known for that light and dark contrast, so it needs it. And sometimes when you think you can stop with a drawing, you see all kinds of things that you want to do something about. Or you're just getting into it. I think I made a few mistakes here in this area, but I just go on. Anyway. Try to correct the nose a little bit. The mouth. That's called a bit of an expressive drawing. It's not my best, I think, but I kind of like it. A bit flawed, but anyway.